Hello and a very warm welcome to Tech 360, brought to you by ET Studios. I'm your host Divina Lasson. Now, Tech 360 is an engaging and insightful interview series that dives deep into the world of technology trends, strategies and innovations through exclusive conversations with the top tech leaders in India. On this episode, we're here to talk about driving the technological foundation for tomorrow's digital platform. Now, empowering businesses with the potential of digital platform is of paramount focus for today's technology leaders as they harness the transformative power of digitization and cutting-edge innovations. The goal is to connect everyone and everything everywhere, revolutionizing the way businesses operate. Alright, without any further ado, to talk about this and much more, it is my pleasure to welcome my guest today. We have joining us Anish Shah, President, Chief Operating Officer, Jio Platforms. Anish, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you. Thank you for being here on ET Studios. We're really excited to have this important conversation about digital platforms, where it stands today and where they're going, and how businesses can really empower themselves by enhancing capability through the platforms. So at the onset, I'd like to ask you, Anish, if you can help us understand on a foundational level, how do rapid advancements in digitization, all the technology advancements that we see happening across organizations, how can they assist businesses in creating next-gen digital platforms?
So I think you are touching up a very interesting topic, which I think is something which every business, every enterprise is looking forward for. And I think in India, at least Jio has been doing this, pioneering this by doing it for itself, and now how we can help even other enterprise customers to really start or transform this journey. I think if we have to, and maybe in your question lies some answers, that when you talk about digital platforms, we need to really understand what does it stands for and how it is different from whatever today's technology services are being done in the enterprises. So I think the first thing is that digital platforms plays a very significant and a crucial role when you want to drive growth, when you want to bring operational efficiencies, and when you want to really expand your reach. So I think these are, in any case, today's norms, and people would definitely like to turn around to some of these services for saying that how I want to go about in building digital platforms. Why it is very crucial and critical? Because even in your traditional business, this helps you to create virtual space, right, to collaborate, to integrate, to interact with your customers, with your suppliers, with your partners. It actually enhances your business reach, it enhances your performance, and more so importantly, now with data insights, it helps you to make a better decisions.
Yes.
So I think digital platforms in combination of all these things helps you to actually take your business from whatever you are doing to the next level. And you need these tools, you need these services, people call cloud, people call IoT, people call edge. To me, all these are means and tools by which you can expand and enhance your business. And that's what about digital platforms is all about, and this is how you can take the journey to use some of these platforms to build to integrate and embed into your business.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of the journey in that case, what role do the technology leaders play, and what is the direction in your experience you've seen them take when it comes to really understanding and leveraging these platforms for business growth?
I think people traditionally, we have been, especially when you talk to many of the technology managers or people who are in the information technology services, they have been building systems and applications now for so many years. But I think this is the time when things have changed for them in building the whole services. How do they really start building user-centric interfaces? In fact, at Jio, we have created a full stack, starting from connectivity, which is very, very important, where you have to really identify that you are the best of the connectivities. You would leverage connectivities if you are not in the business of connectivity, but you need to leverage connectivity, whether it is 4G, 5G, fiber, and of course now we are also providing air fiber. So that's the first stack. The second stack is compute. People are moving from the traditional data centers to cloud. I would say you have to be very, very cautious in doing whatever you are doing, but certainly you have no choice but to move to cloud or cloud native, to be very specific. Public cloud, yes, you should leverage the capabilities because it gives you a jump start, it gives you tools, it gives you a mechanism to move very quickly in building your applications, in building your data insights. So certainly compute is very, very important. Third to me is, after you have solved this problem or at least identified this stack, then you have to start looking at all your core application stack. And there I would say you have to have a top-down approach. For example, your user interface. You have to be user-centric. You have to start with customer experience first. You can't build a CRM without thinking of customer. You have to first look at customer, you have to first identify what are their needs, what will be the experience, what will be the touch points, and start digitizing those using the using the components which are nowadays available. A lot of things are open source, a lot of things are available in cloud, a lot of things something which you can build on your own, but you have to have a user centric approach. The second thing which is very, very important is performance and reliability. You have to keep those in mind. Gone are those days where you have to just keep servers and add servers. Now you have to make it scalable, you have to give performance. I think yesterday somebody was talking about that, you know, if you are booking a taxi, you need to ensure that the responses are done in milliseconds, sub-milliseconds. Otherwise people are not going to use that service. So certainly you have to look at those touch points, and performance and reliability becomes very, very relevant. The third thing which you have to then look at is that how are you going to manage the tons of data which you are going to collect because of this. How do you ensure that this data is now being securely kept? How you are ensuring that you are complying to the regulatory requirements, data privacy requirements, and yet you are able to generate insight out of it. To me, these are again standard interfaces, standard things which every technology team has to really look into it, and this is what we do, and I'm sure this is something which everybody has to really perform if they want to transform from whatever they are into what they want to be.
Absolutely. So keeping all of this in mind, this is sort of what we're talking about, but what would you say are the top 3 challenges that business leaders in the tech space are facing when it comes to digital transformation and the platform adoption?
I think, and this I have mentioned it even yesterday, that people know what and people know why. They know it. Everybody understands what they want to do and why they want to do. The problem is how. And there are various ways by which people can do it. I would say we at Jio have clearly identified a mechanism, a methodology by which we approach the how part of it. For example, we have started building our own cloud infrastructure. We don't expect everybody to do it, but that is the leverage which we are saying that we can extend it to others. The second part is identifying all the critical components which are required. People definitely are using open source, but I don't think so it is about open source or closed source or anything. It is about architecture. You have to give a lot of interface on architecture. How do you define that architecture? How will you break it up? You have to look at everything. Example, you have to ensure that every journey which you are building, every interface you are building, you have an event logging. You are able to then ensure that you are able to generate insights out of them. You are able to generate real-time dashboards out of it. So I think there is a recipe. Everybody has a different recipe of building the same food, but the question is which recipe is more interesting, more cheaper, and very tasty. So how do you do that is very, very important. And that is something which we are practicing in every layer of what we have built, as I call a full stack layer, is what we have built at Jio.
Okay, so then what is the recipe that you are offering to enterprises basically? And surely, like you said, it's a stack. You have a whole gamut of services, products that maybe a lot of people are not even fully aware of the whole range. So
you are absolutely right. In fact, while I was interacting with a couple of people here, the first thing when they see our name, they realize that okay, we are a connectivity company, and it takes a little while for them to really understand that we do a lot of things beyond connectivity.
Yes.
So starting with building hybrid cloud management, we build IoT platforms, we have smart devices, of course provide private 5G and 5G related services, edge cloud. A lot of people are talking about cloud, not very people are understanding the power of edge.
Right.
And we are building probably largest edge infrastructure in the country. People can leverage a lot of it. Things are moving from stagnant to live to streaming. We are building a lot of streaming service, be it not only just media streaming, but we are talking of streaming applications. We are building cloud-based PCs. We are helping people to really migrate their stack from non-cloud native to cloud native, and then from public cloud to private cloud. We help people to really provide an entire secure architecture and a lot of services on data, intelligence and AI/ML. And I would like to differentiate from what we do versus what our partners, because we work with all our partners, be it Google, be it Microsoft, Meta, Qualcomm. They are all our very close partners, and we respect them and we work with them. But at the same time, what we are building is something which is either using some of their core components or something which we have built on our own. But we work with enterprises to help solve their problems rather than trying to sell a subscription or a license or a product. We want to really be relevant and very important to what they are doing, and if it helps them, we will be happy to help them.
That's fantastic. Thank you for laying that out so clearly. So as we wrap up, if I can ask you, what is your one key takeaway for all the tech leaders out there watching this program when it comes to adoption of digital platforms?
I think the tech leaders, they are very smart. They know a lot of things. Everybody reads, and nowadays with ChatGPT, you don't need any advices or any tips. But I think one thing I would like to say is that in today's world, when technology has become so very pervasive, people can adopt and use any path, any means, and I have seen a lot of people talking about solutions and things, how it has helped them, and everybody I believe will have some or the other way of doing it. But there are certain core principles which one should not be leaving it alone. You should not be bogged down by technology. Technology is an enabler, but not it can be enabler, it can be driver, but it cannot command your business. You have to look at your business. You have to see what is suitable for your business. And at the end of it, anything which can help to your bottom line is what you should look at it. And that is very important. You have to really see how you can help your bottom line. Top lines are easy to make. Bottom line is very difficult to get it done. And I think that is what every CIO has to look at it. I'm sure there are ways, each one has their own way of doing it, but these are the critical things which they have to look at it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's really been a pleasure. Thank you for joining us on ET Studios
and
giving us all these very valuable insights.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me here. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Alright, well, that's all we have for you on this very interesting episode of Tech 360 brought to you by ET Studios. But do stay tuned for many more such in-depth conversations. Until next time, many thanks for watching.